You're not going to believe what Larry Fink just said. I'm going to keep it really short because honestly, this is the only thing I want to talk about in this video, but it has to do with Bitcoin. It has to do with de-dollarization. And he is saying that Bitcoin could take over the dollar. I had a different video planned, but we're going to go with this one. If you hear someone, it's the baby, feeding him with one hand, shooting the video with the other, but the wife's out and about. So I figured now was a time that we could talk about what just came out. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. You can check out the links underneath the video to BTCC, BitUniX, WEEX, and Blowfin if you do want to trade on leverage. Now, Blackrock talking about de-dollarization. They had an investor presentation and it said something about, can Bitcoin take over the US dollar? And they said, well, the fact is that the US debt is out of control. We're around $1 trillion in interest payments, and there's no end in sight. Interest payments have done nothing but gone up recently. Oh, hold on. Need to support the head better. Interest payments have done nothing but gone up recently. And right now, the dollar is at risk of losing its dominance, right? The global reserve currency, which would be a very bad thing for the U.S. economy, would be very bad for a lot of tech stocks, would be very bad for the stock market in the U.S., I would believe as well. And just in general, it would be a huge detriment to America. Now, what would replace it? They said that something like Bitcoin could replace it. Now, the cool thing about that, one, they're pushing Bitcoin, right? We have Larry Fink and Blackrock pushing Bitcoin here, talking about it to all their wealthy investors, and they've been doing that for years, but also talking about it to the public. Like, hey, if you're a retail investor, maybe this is something to pay attention to. Maybe you should be paying attention. Maybe you should be putting a couple dollars into it, maybe 1% or 2%, something like that. Now, the other thing this says is we need to get our debt under control. Now, how do they do that? Well, you grow out of it, right? You lower interest rates so that when you have to get more debt, when the debt expires, or when the notes are done, right? You have lower interest rates. So you start lowering rates, you grow out of it, so that way taxes go up. That way you can hopefully get to budget neutral. Hopefully you can actually start repaying. And even if you're not repaying, if you're budget neutral for long enough, it will still inflate and it will be less of an issue, right? So it'll be less per the GDP, which will make other countries feel a lot better about the repayment of debt at some point in the future. So either way, Bitcoin wins, because if rates come down, interest rates come down, risk on assets are going to go up significantly. And if they stay high, well, people are going to look for other alternatives, something that maybe has a fixed supply, that everyone can know exactly how many tokens there are going to be at any specific time. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Just a short one here. Apologize too. I had to, change things up a little bit. But yeah, it's been a long night. When the baby wakes up at 4 o'clock and will not go down, will not leave your arms all day. So yeah, we're changing things up with the times, but I appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Let me know if you think this is a big deal or not. And of course, I realized too, I should have said this earlier. Some people will say, call me when that affects the price action, right? Tell me, I just don't care. I just don't care until the price goes up. That's what some people are saying right now. The fact is, a lot of this stuff has to happen. Then all of a sudden we see an explosive move, right? We've seen so much good news over the last couple months. Yeah, the prices come down. It's like what a lot of people say. It's like a volleyball that's held underwater, or a beach ball that's held underwater. Eventually, it rises up and it shoots out of the water. Very similar in my opinion. But of course, we could always go down further. We could always go down further, and we could always chop sideways a little bit too. Tariffs 2 days from now. So yeah, be ready for anything. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. See you in the next one. Bye.